In this video, I'll show you how to set up your project for QR code detection and show you how to spawn a 3D model on top of it. I'll also talk about how you can read the payloads. But I do have to mention that this is an experimental feature, which means that there are some limitations which I'll talk about at the end of this video. Alright then, let's get started. Alright, so here I have my Unity project open. I'm using the version 6.3.9 F1 LTS. I have gone ahead and added some of the required packages like MetaXR Core SDK, MetaXR Interaction SDK. Apart from that, I've also set up this project for the MetaQuest platform by configuring various settings. Now you can also get this project by visiting the GitHub link provided in the description below, and you can go ahead and download this project. Now since we want to use the pass-through feature, we need to add one more package, which is the Meta's MR utility kit. Now you can add this to your asset and then open it inside the Unity editor. And here, install the package. Alright, once that's done, let's have a quick check to make sure everything is in order. So first navigate inside File, Build Profiles. Here, make sure you're on the MetaQuest platform. Now if you're using the older version of Unity, then make sure you're on the Android platform. Then navigate inside MetaXR Tools and select Project Setup Tool. Here inside the Meta Android tab, make sure that all the issues are fixed. You might see two warnings which are related to the platform SDK. Since we are not using them, you can ignore this. Similarly, navigate inside the PC tab and make sure all the issues are fixed. Now the reason why we are using Windows platform is so that we can test our scene directly from the Unity editor. Alright, so with this we have made sure that our project is now ready for mixed reality development. Now to set up our scene, select the main camera and delete it. Then navigate inside MetaXR Tools and select Building Blocks. From this window, select Core and add the camera rig block and also the pass-through block. This would have created the camera rig block with the tracking space that allows us to track our headset, hands and controllers, and it would have also added the pass-through component which allows us to see the live view of a physical environment. Then create an empty game object and call it as QR code manager, and to this game object we need to add the MRUK component. And now to enable QR code detection, you can scroll all the way down, navigate inside the tracker configuration, and here you need to check the box for QR code tracking. Now for this QR code feature to work, we need to set up a couple more things, and that is to navigate inside camera rig, and here inside the OVR management, inside the general quest feature, you need to make sure that the anchor support is enabled and the scene support is required. Next, navigate inside the environmental tabs and here check the box for experimental features. Now with the current setup that we have here, it has three effects at runtime. First is that it enables QR code detection, which means that it's going to consume system resources. So you should disable it when it's not needed. So that would mean for you to access the QR code manager, the MRUK component, and disable the QR code tracking when it is not required using scripts. Second is that it periodically checks for newly detected QR codes and it invokes the trackable added callback. And when you disable the QR code tracking, that's when the trackable remote callback is invoked. And the third effect that it has is that it updates the pose and dimensions of all the QR codes. Now, one thing that you need to know here is that the QR codes are of type trackable, which means you can get their transform, you can get a 2D bounding box, a 2D polygon, and also a payload. So let's go ahead and write a simple script that will subscribe to the trackable event callback. So when a QR code is added, we can fetch its platform, its bounding box, and the payload if it has any. So in the asset folder, let's create a new folder called as scripts. And inside this folder, let's create a mono behavior script and call it as QR code manager. Open this script in your IDE and copy this code, which you can find in the description below. Now this script references to the MRUK instance, which is the MR utility kit component needed for QR code tracking. Then it has the S instance variable, which is used to implement the singleton pattern, ensuring that there's a single globally accessible instance of the QR code manager in your scene. Next, we have the tracking enabled property. This property gets whether the QR code tracking is currently enabled in the MRUK settings, and it also sets the value, allowing you to turn the QR code tracking on or off from anywhere inside your code. Then when the script is enabled, it sets itself as a singleton instance. It checks if the MRUK instance is assigned. If it is, then it subscribes to the event when the trackable object is added or removed from the scene. Now on disable, we do the exact opposite. Alright, now coming to the on trackable added function. Now this listens to the callback for when the object is added. Now this object can be a keyboard or a QR code. So the first thing that we want to do is to check if the trackable type is a QR code. Only then we want to continue executing the following lines of code. So here we are just logging the detailed information about the QR code, such as its ID, position, rotation, bounding box, polygon points, and any payload data if it contains. Similarly, when the tracking is removed, it checks if it is a QR code and it simply logs that the QR code has been removed from the scene. Alright, let's go back to Unity and finish setting up our scene. Here you can select the QR code manager and add the component that you just created. This needs the MRUK instance component, which is attached to the QR code manager. So you can select it and drag and drop it in here. Now it's time to test our scene. First, we'll test it from the Unity editor, and then we'll build it onto our device and test it as well. So to test it from the Unity editor, you need to connect your device to your laptop or PC using Link or AirLink. If you're not sure how that's done, then you can check out the video linked at the top. Then open the Meta Horizon Link software, navigate inside Settings, Developer, scroll down, and here make sure to turn on this toggle to send spatial data over Meta Horizon Link. And then you can save your scene and press play to test it. Now for testing, I'm using this QR code which links to my LinkedIn profile. Alright, now when you scan the QR code, you should be able to see all the logs inside the console window. Alright, so now that we know the QR code feature is working, let's see how to spawn a 3D asset on top of it. So for the 3D asset, I'll be downloading this model of Pikachu from Raghav Gupta. You can find the link in the description below. And here I've imported the model. But as you can see here, it is of GLTF format, so I'll have to install the GLT fast package. For that, you can navigate inside Windows, Package Management, Package Manager. Click on the plus symbol, add package by name, and type com.unity.cloud.glt-fast and click on install. Now once the package has been installed, you should be able to see your asset. Now going back to the code that we wrote earlier, let's add a serialized field variable to store the game object of the prefab that we want to spawn. And we want to spawn this prefab when the QR code is detected. So we'll have to go inside on trackable added component, and once we check whether it's a QR code or not, over here we can instantiate it. And that's about it. Now you can save the script and go back to Unity. Alright, so now let's prepare the prefab that we want to spawn. In my case, it's the model of Pikachu. So I'm going to select this 3D model and drag and drop it inside my scene. Now, since I'll be detecting the QR code on a horizontal surface, I would want the model to align with it, which means that the local y-axis should be pointing on top. So I'm going to change the rotation about x-axis from -90 to 0. Now there are a couple of changes that I'd like to do here. First is to reset its position to 0, and I'd also like to scale it down, but I'm not sure of the exact value. So what I generally do is I go ahead and add a 3D cube, scale that to 0.2 in all the directions, reset its position to 0, and now I can select my model and scale it with reference to the cube. Alright, so once you're happy with the scale, you can select the cube and delete it. I'd also like to rename this and change the animation from walking to dancing. And now to convert this into a prefab, you can simply select the game object and drag and drop it inside your asset folder. Select the prefab from your scene and delete it. Then you can select the QR code manager, and here to reference the spawn prefab, you can select the prefab that we just created. And that's about it. Now you can save your scene and test it. And now when I scan the QR code, you can see that the 3D asset has been spawned. Alright, now like a good developer, we'll also build an APK and test it on a headset to make sure that the QR code feature works on a standalone device as well. And for that, you can navigate inside MetaXR tools, select project setup tool. Here you will be recommended a bunch of fixes, so make sure to apply all of them and fix all the issues. Then save your scene, navigate inside File, Build Profiles, make sure you're on the MetaQuest platform, then go inside Scene List and add the open scene. Go back to MetaQuest platform, and here you can select Build and Run. And here create a folder called Builds, give your APK a name and save your file. Then you'll get a pop-up asking if you want to enable experimental features. Click on Yes. Alright, the app has been successfully built onto my headset, and now when I look at the QR code, we have the Pikachu dancing on top of my table. Now before I end this video, I want to talk about some of the limitations. The first one is not exactly a limitation, but it depends on your use case. In the video that you're seeing right now, when the detected QR code moves, the QR code tracker updates the position and the 3D object gets updated. However, it's not synced and there's a delay. And this happens because the poses are updated at a lower frequency. This means the tracker is not suitable for tracking moving objects in real time. Apart from that, there are a couple more limitations, like you cannot design a custom logo, that's not supported. The QR codes cannot be small and it works only when it is well lit. The QR codes have to be relatively large and positioned close to the device, and it can have maximum of 10 versions. So now you know how to use the QR code detection feature. You can use this in your application to do anything. I was able to read the payload and open the links on a web browser in mixed reality, as you can see here. If this is something that you want to learn, then do let us know in the comments below, and we'll probably make a dedicated video on that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.